Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. When you look at the class of 2026 for Tennessee, they've got some elite playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. They've got Savon Brandon, five-star quarterback. 247 Sports says that Brandon is the number one overall player in the country. You've got a blue-chip wide receiver right out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and Tyreek King, 6 foot, 170 pounds, four-star prospect, a top 100 guy. Also tight end, you got Carson Snead, a four-star tight end out of Nashville, Tennessee, 6'5.5", 235 pounds. They are getting some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. But what about the running back position? Can Tennessee sign an elite running back or two in this class of 2026? And, when you talk about Josh Heupel's offense, I think sometimes people get lost in that 2022 season. They get lost in the deep ball, Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, and what an electric offense that was. But Josh Heupel's offense isn't about the passing game. It is about the running game. We led the conference in rushing the last two seasons. This year you averaged 225.8 yards per game. That's 30 yards per game more than the second best team, Texas A&M. You go back and look at Jalen Wright. In that 2023 season, he ran for 1,000 yards. He was the first 1,000-yard rusher at Tennessee since 2015 when Jalen Hurd did it. You had to go back to the Butch Jones era. Also, Dylan Sampson this year. What a phenomenal season for Dylan Sampson in 2024. Ran for almost 1,500 yards, set the single-season rushing yard record at Tennessee with 1,491 yards. Also had 22 rushing touchdowns, also the most in a single season at Tennessee. So when we look at the running back position, when we look at the class of 2026, can Tennessee recruit that elite playmaker at the running back position? We're going to look at a couple of guys here. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it, but I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me real quick. It helps the channel. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're doing EA Sports College Football on Sunday nights, but we had to call an audible because of the Super Bowl last night. We're going to do it tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll hang out. We'll talk Tennessee football. The basketball team is going to be playing. We'll talk about that in the chat and have a good time playing EA Sports College Football. So be here Tuesday night. Also think about hitting that join button down below. This time of year, that's how you can ultimately help the channel the most. Just $1 a month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But let's jump into it. Let's talk some recruiting. Let's talk about Amari Latimer, four-star running back out of Tyrone, Georgia, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's ranked 235th nationally according to the On3 industry rankings, 22nd best running back in the country. You can see the tweet there from On3 Recruit. Four-star running back Amari Latimer is eyeing 5 visits in the near future as he tweaks his commitment plans. That is from Chad Simmons of On3.com. Now, changed his plans. He was initially planning to commit pretty soon. There was some buzz. Could have been as early as last month or February, March, that type of timeline. But now what you're seeing is he's going to slow things down. Here's the quote from Amari Latimer himself. Says January was really hectic and pretty crazy with all the coaches coming through. I would say the past month has slowed things down for me. Schools that I had offers from came through. Schools that had not offered me came through, and I wasn't in class a lot last month. He goes on to say, I've added new offers. Some schools are telling me they're going to recruit me harder and build relationships with me. So I'm going to take some time. Now, here's what he's got planned. He's going to take some unofficial visits this spring. Going to visit Wisconsin, Michigan, Miami, Texas, and Tennessee is in the mix here. Tennessee offered back in January of 2024, visited twice last year. He camped for the night at Neyland in June, also took an unofficial visit for the win over Alabama. Now, there is a crystal ball prediction right now. If you go over to 247 Sports, I don't put a whole lot into this. It's from Hank South of Horns 247. He put in the crystal ball prediction back in July of 2024. So, again, I don't put a lot of stock with that. Now, VolQuest put out an update on Friday. Says in talking with multiple folks in the Peach State, Tennessee remains a real contender for standout running back Amari Latimer. But it's worth noting that there's a strong notion the schools up north, like Michigan and Wisconsin, should not be discounted in his recruitment. He has a brother who recently transferred to Wisconsin, and Michigan has recruited him heavily for some time. So we'll see how the visits play out over the course of the spring and what Latimer decides to do. But Tennessee's also working the number one running back in the country. And I pose this question a lot. Does Tennessee truly need that elite running back? And we talk about the word elite. I probably overuse the word elite. A lot of people probably overuse the word elite. Do you need that elite guy? You look at who, Tennessee's recruited, who Tennessee has signed over the last couple of years. I think Peyton Lewis has the opportunity to be a really good running back in this system. Look at what Deshaun Bishop has done Deshaun Bishop is a guy that he goes to commit. He's got an App State hat, a Coastal Carolina hat, and a University of Tennessee hat on the table. A lot of people thinking, okay, is the Tennessee hat out there just because he's an in-state kid? Is there any legitimacy to this? He ends up choosing Tennessee. Then the questions start, is Deshaun Bishop going to walk on? Like, is he walking on because he wants to stay in state? What's this all about? Look what Deshaun Bishop has done in this offense. I think he's been pretty good, and that's why I always pose the question, do you really need an elite running back in this offense? It's all about space. It's all about, how many guys are in the box, setting up an advantage in the box, running the football. If you got the numbers advantage, run the football. If you don't, throw the football. Do you really need that elite running back to have success running the football? Again, led the conference in rushing yards per game the last 2 seasons. On the flip side of that, how much better is this offense with an elite running back? I think it's safe to say that Jalen Wright was an elite running back. I think it's safe to say that Dylan Sampson was an elite running back. What about Savon Haider, the number 1 running back in the country for the class of 2026? Now, he's listed as a 4-star right now. These numbers are going to shift. They're going to change. They're going to move. I think ultimately Savon Haider is going to end up being a 5-star prospect. 21st best player in the country, but again, the number 1 running back in the country, number 1 player out of the state of Virginia, 5'11", 190 pounds. But I actually just throw up some highlights here. Let you guys take a look for yourselves what you think about Savon Haider. Last season, junior year in Virginia, ran for 1,187 yards, also had 11 touchdowns, 7.91 yards per carry, also had 2 kickoff return touchdowns. He's got speed, man. He's got elite speed. He's a track guy, ran an 11.11 in the 100 meters as a freshman. This is from 247 Sports. They say the nation's number 1 running back in the 2026 class, Haider, received an early offer from Tennessee in March of 2023. Visited the Vols for the first time in July of that year before the start of his sophomore year of high school. Tennessee has been among the top contenders for him since then. Finally made it back to Knoxville on November the 2nd to attend the Vols home game against Kentucky. Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State are among the other schools standing out to the 5'11", 182-pound Haider, who has a junior in Louisiana County High School in Mineral, Virginia. He's coming off a visit to Georgia last weekend for the Bulldogs Junior Day. Now, Matt Ray put out an update back in January. This is what he had to say about Savon Haider. Said Haider is the top running back in the country, truly a game breaker at the position. And again, that's what I go back to. Do you have to be elite in this offense? No, I don't think so. What if you are elite? What if you are that game breaker at the running back position? Matt Ray goes on to say this is a heavyweight recruitment, and there are going to be plenty of twists and turns. The elite prospect has noted that Michigan is his top school. I've seen where Steve Wiltfong of On3 has also kind of confirmed that Michigan is the front runner right now. Says they've done an excellent job recruiting him. Tennessee is going to prioritize him along with Ohio State and Georgia, who are also in his top grouping of schools. Tennessee's usage, again, I love this right here in Savon Haider's recruitment. The number 1 running back in the country, an elite running back. Matt Ray says Tennessee's usage of Dylan Sampson and the spacing of the offense has Haider's attention. Again, the numbers game in the box. Get the advantage and then let an elite running back go take advantage of that. Says this recruitment is going to be one of the more exciting ones to watch unfold this cycle. Now, I like, when you read what Matt Ray said there, saying that he's taken notice of the way they use Dylan Sampson, the spacing of the offense. That's got his attention. Well, VolQuest put out an update on Friday, and it says Tennessee's been working Savon Haider pretty hard lately. The plan is for him to be here this spring to take in a practice and to watch the Vols work and see how Darrell Sims works in the meeting room and on the practice field. He will also take an official here in June. So this recruitment is going to play out throughout the course of the summer, right? You're talking about the number 1 running back in the country, but I like the fact that he's taken notice of the way they use Dylan Sampson in space. And now he's going to come in, take in a spring practice, and he's going to be able to sit in that meeting room with Darrell Sims, and Darrell Sims is going to be able to paint that picture of what he could look like in this offense. He did visit for the win over Kentucky last year. Coming off of that visit, he said it was electric. He said, people are just together as a family cheering for everybody and everybody rooting for Tennessee. I expected big out of Tennessee, and I got what I expected. I am a priority to them. Feel like they made it known that they want me, and I made it known that they're one of my top schools right now. Had the best relationship with them the most since my freshman year, and I built it with Coach Walter, and I had it with Coach Mack, and then also Coach Sims once he arrived. Now I've got that relationship with Coach Sims. What are your thoughts if we get that elite running back? How much better can this offense get? Look, I get it, man. 2024, we had some struggles. We had an elite defense. We led the conference in rushing, but the passing game was not there. And I've said it a million times. I don't care who is leading this offense. I don't care if it's Nico, George, Jake, or if it's Faison, Brandon. And when you look at the class of 2026 and you look at the timing, that is the next group, man. That could be the class. The class of 2026 could be the one. We talk about being elite. Made a video late last week. Can Tennessee be elite? If you missed that, go back and watch it. I'll put it in a little box right here. Click it. Watch it. Take it in. What do we got to do to take that next step? I think the class of 2026 could be a big part of getting to that elite level. That's going to do it for this one. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. Go check out the Talkin Vols merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin Vols. Also, if you like these recruiting videos, you like supporting in the offseason, think about hitting that join button down there below. Just $1 a month. We would greatly appreciate it. All the links are in the description, but that is going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin Vols Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.